Hello, I'm Hillary from Revenge Fashion Magazine here at the LeRoy Neiman Art Center in New York City with Keishel Williams, the mind behind Jlehsiek Designs, who just showed her new collection, Reveal. So can you tell me a bit about your collection?
Yes, well, thank you first of all for coming. Revenge Magazine has always been a great supporter of my line, so it's always good to have you guys here. My collection is entitled Reveal. It's a fall-winter 2013 collection, and it's actually paying homage to my home country of Trinidad and Tobago, which celebrated their 50th independence last year. As you can see, the color scheme is red, white, and black, which is the national colors of Trinidad and Tobago. And I decided that it was a great tribute to create this particular collection and have it represent where I come from and represent strength and what I call revelation of independence, because to become independent, you have to pretty much reveal yourself in that manner. So it was really more of an inspiration from my home country in order to bring something like this, feminine but strong.
What made you decide to have a collection that focused more on your culture at this time rather than earlier or later in your career? And even with this event, you incorporated dancers who had like more Trinidadian dances, and you said artwork from your father was here too. So what made you decide to sort of take on this project at this time? Was there any specific event or?
Well, honestly, I usually work with how I feel and how I'm inspired, and at this time I was inspired by really the independence and everything that's going on in my country. So it's always, who's to say I won't do something like this again, because if the inspiration strikes, I will go with it rather than saying that I shouldn't do it. It's never really a right time to do something. It's how you feel. And as a designer, I really work with how I feel.
Well, that makes sense, and that's what I feel like all designers should do. It certainly was a beautiful collection, so it worked out very well. And I didn't know that the colors were inspired by like the national colors of Trinidad, so now I know that. So that's good, because I was going to ask you about those colors. So what do you want to do with this collection going further?
Of course, sell the pieces. Going forward, we're actually about to launch the online store. Previously, I usually work with private clients. However, going forward, we're opening an online store. So within a few months, you'll be able to purchase this collection. We actually have a treat here for the audience that they can pre-order some of the pieces here tonight.
That's really great. You're definitely very forward thinking with this, and especially these days having being able to buy stuff online is very convenient. So granted, like this specific collection came from a lot of inspiration from your culture, but in a larger sense, as a designer, what do you think makes you stand out in this industry?
The manner in which I design, instead of designing pieces that I think women should wear, which is what I think most designers do. They think that this is what you should wear to look sexy. I usually try to design pieces that would evoke a particular experience for women. If you're wearing my clothing, you should have a particular feeling towards that clothing. You should be able to say, okay, I'm wearing a spring piece from Jlehsiek, and I feel like back in the islands. It should evoke some sort of experience and an emotion when you're wearing my pieces. And all of my pieces usually have undertone of vintage. So some of the pieces here actually have inspiration from the 18th century, even if you see the hair inspired by the 18th century hairstyles.
And what advice do you have for aspiring designers who are looking to focus more on designing the clothes that they feel are best for women these days and that they're more passionate about, especially in a more consumer-oriented society?
Do it for the love, because if you decide you're going to be in fashion strictly for money, it rarely ever works out. It should be something that you're passionate about, and not the entire I have a passion for fashion thing. It's something that you really, really want. You have to work hard at it and do research. Everything I do research. Every piece of my, every collection I do research behind them, so I am able to tell you a story behind my collection.
That's really good advice. And that's great. People definitely really should be a lot more thorough these days with the design. That shows that you're very passionate about what you do. Like you can tell just by this event that you're an extremely passionate person and really dedicate everything towards it. But if I wanted to purchase one of your designs right now, how would I go about doing so?
You can go on to Jlehsiek.com and you'll be able to get more information there. As I said, the online store has not been launched yet, but if you check onto the website, you'll be able to get updates on when it will be launched. And of course, find the line on Facebook. Like us on Facebook, and of course there you'll be able to get all of the instant updates in terms of what we're doing and when things are being launched.
Okay, well thank you so much for talking with us.
No problem. Thank you for coming. As usual, Gavin.
Okay, well thank you. And again, I'm Hillary from Revenge Fashion Magazine here at the LeRoy Neiman Art Center in New York City.